In the late 90s, there was a shadow war going on. A war that was fought right under our noses and right in our mouths. A pizza war.
In the 1990s, delivery pizza was a hot market, piping hot, and chains made all sorts of ridiculous claims about their pizza. Pizza could cure depression, reunite families.
I've got a brother!
And somehow was the reason we defeated the Soviet Union? This war was waged through advertising. Domino's claimed the fastest delivery times, Little Caesars was the cheapest, and Pizza Hut, the largest chain, dominated the dining experience. But a new competitor, Papa John's, had set its sights on overtaking Pizza Hut as the top chain by any means necessary, including featuring Pizza Hut's founder in its commercials as a Papa John's franchise owner.
I found a better pizza.
The pizza war had gone nuclear.
But it was Papa John's slogan that was the boldest strategy of all. It just straight up claimed its pizza was better. This was too much for Pizza Hut, and in 1997 it sued Papa John's for false advertising.
It wouldn't be the last time Papa John Schnatter got in trouble for saying something he shouldn't have.
But the weird thing is, Papa John's agreed with Pizza Hut. The company admitted in court that the slogan wasn't true and shouldn't be believed. Because of this, Papa John's won and got to keep the slogan. Papa John's used this weird loophole that's sneakily exploited everywhere in advertising. A loophole where words can simultaneously mean everything and nothing at all. A loophole that kind of lets advertisers lie about their products and get away with it. A slogan can define a company. It's a way to hardwire a brand into a consumer's brain. Good slogans can create a feeling or a mood, like warm and fuzzy. But brands are competing for hearts and minds, so they need to set themselves apart from the competition. But what are claims like these based on? Usually nothing. When advertisers make vague claims about their products, they're engaging in puffery. Puffery is a legal distinction for speech that is so exaggerated a reasonable person would never believe it to be true. It's a defense against accusations of false advertising. Usually, any claim in an ad has to be backed up by some form of evidence. Otherwise, it's deceptive. But puffery is making claims without any evidence because what they're describing, according to the advertiser, is impossible to define or measure. Competing companies and their lawyers debate what these taglines and slogans mean all the time. But who gets to decide if an ad is lying?
My name's HODES. I'm a senior staff attorney at the Advertising Self-Regulatory Council.
The ASRC is the first check on questionable advertisements. The first test for puffery is to ask if a normal person would believe what an ad is claiming.
You remember the movie Elf, where he walks into this dingy little coffee shop and they had a neon in the window that says "World's Best Coffee"? And he bursts in and he says,
You did it! Congratulations! World's best cup of coffee.
Nobody else in the scene thinks that this luncheonette has the world's best coffee. The law understands that consumers aren't like Elf. Consumers are like everybody else in the cafe.
Spotting puffery may seem easy enough, but what a word means can change from ad to ad.
So the adjective means different things in different contexts, when it's attached to different nouns, when it's presented in different visuals.
Context can be the line that separates puffery from false advertising, and Papa John's was pushing it. Advertisements can serve two main purposes. The first is brand identity. Better ingredients, better pizza by itself didn't mean anything, but slapping the slogan on everything was a good way to get people to remember Papa John's. And it seemed to work. But the second purpose is to promote all the great stuff about your product, like your tomato sauce. In 1997, Papa John's began associating better ingredients with the quality of their sauce and that of their competitors. Papa John's was saying better ingredients meant better tasting sauce. So Pizza Hut said, prove it, or ditch the tagline. During the jury trial, Pizza Hut called expert sauce and dough witnesses to prove that customers couldn't taste the difference. Seeing its brand identity under siege, Papa John's threw the Puffery Hail Mary, admitting the slogan didn't mean anything.
They said that it was an expression of pride, it's boasting, it's bluster.
But the court also ruled Papa John's had to stop with the comparative ads.
If you're making a statement about what consumers think, you need evidence. If you're just stating your own boastful opinion, you don't need evidence because that's not something you can really prove.
But why do advertisers use Puffery if everyone admits it's a bunch of BS?
We need to have space for companies to talk about their products in vague and unspecific ways. It allows the creativity on sort of that brand identity as opposed to having ads that only say, my product is X measured by Y.
So what's the next fight on the Puffery front lines?
The word superior, I feel like, whether or not you're sort of saying good or better with the word superior is such a fine line. I think about these words way too much.
A pizza war, pizza war, pizza war, a pizza war.
Puffery lets me say that this was the best video ever made. But can you think of any questionable advertisements that might have crossed the Puffery line? Comment below and like and subscribe for more Cheddar deep dives and breakdowns. And turn on notifications so you can know when we make some more of this piping hot content.